Minister, today, why are you visiting Harlow?
Well, Rob Halford, the Member of Parliament for Harlow, has been lobbying quite hard about opportunities for more housing in Harlow as part of regeneration for Harlow. Invited me down today to have a look at not just this site here, but also a bit of a summit with the local authority before we came here to look at exactly what those opportunities are and how we can make sure we can deliver on them for the benefit of everybody, not just in Harlow actually, but potentially across Hertfordshire and Essex as well.
Because I guess I could say 1847, this is on Fields, 1947, Newtown's Act. What possibly could be here in 2047 as Harlow as a place?
Well, I think that's the great opportunity that's ahead. You've got real ambition here with Rob Halford as the MP, who's determined to see regeneration and growth that creates more opportunities for not just improved infrastructure, but more jobs and homes for people to live in. And actually cross-party support on the council, the leader of the council, the leader of the opposition working together to make sure that they get that opportunity. And importantly, really good quality design to have really good quality places for people to live. So when you look at how Harlow's developed over that 100 years, the future is very much in Harlow's own hands.
Because we're at a pivotal place here, right? Not only with what is in Harlow, things like enterprise zones, but actually geographically what it is as well.
Oh, absolutely. Right on the outskirts of London with easy access for London, the rail infrastructure, the road infrastructure means Harlow is an absolutely perfect opportunity to really see some opportunities delivering more homes and employment in the future.
It has to be dealt with quite carefully. Putting my Thurrock hat on for a second, we have a proposal for a new Thames crossing, and when people get there's could be a lot of weeping and grinding. You've got to be very careful in these things, haven't you?
That's why it is really important to make sure people are working together across the boundaries, talking to each other. Councils have what we call a duty to cooperate. I'm actually visiting Thurrock in the next hour or so this morning, so I'll be talking to them about the opportunities there as well and how all these things link together. And that's part of what's exciting about my role, is how you look at how you bring these opportunities together, make sure they work complementary to each other, but ultimately delivering really good, exciting, enjoyable places that people can live and be proud of.
Thank you very much. Would you describe these, when it comes to Harlow, as exciting times for Harlow?
It's incredibly exciting. Harlow is going through major change, and I think some of the things that are going on in our town are the biggest things, without exaggeration, the biggest things that have happened in Harlow since the town was built itself. And first of all, we've got the enterprise zone, we've got Public Health England, £500 million of government investment will bring thousands of companies and scientists, so many companies and thousands of scientists to Harlow. And also we've got the potential of regeneration of the town centre if we get new housing. And I know from residents who come to see my surgeries, housing is the #1 issue. We have to have more housing in our town. There is no doubt about it. I've been lobbying the Minister quite hard. The good thing is we've got Andrew Johnson here, we've got John Clement here, all the parties are working together. Can't often say that, but we're in agreement. We need more houses. We had a housing summit today with places for people, and there is a real, genuine commitment from the Minister to do everything he can to ensure that housing is built for our town. Because if we get the housing, we get the money for the regeneration of our town centre, we get the money for the infrastructure development we need, and I think things are very hopeful. Hopefully we're going to get a new junction. Of course there's a lot of discussion to come on the M11. We had a meeting last week with John Clement, the leader of the council, and myself with the Crossrail team to try and get a Crossrail terminal to Harlow. So things over the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, Harlow could change dramatically for the better.
And how do you sell that to the people of Harlow? Because some people see a bit of uncertainty. As we've said before, there are some people losing jobs. So how do you sell it?
Of course, there are people who are losing jobs, but actually, if you look at the figures, jobs and businesses are coming back to our town. Unemployment has gone down significantly. Look at every statistic, and companies now opening here all the time. Remember, it wasn't so long ago that the BBC said Harlow had the highest business growth in England, let alone the east of England. So we have companies opening up, we have new shops. Some of the shops have closed in town, we've got new shops now, thank goodness. The Harvey Centre is being regenerated. So of course things are always tough, but there are good things happening. The enterprise zone, the University Technical School, Public Health England, hopefully in M11 Junction, more housing for Harlow residents, and affordable housing as well. We've just been inside affordable house, meeting the resident here in Tanyard Place. So I would say jobs, friendships and infrastructure are coming back to our town.
Thank you very much. John Clement, today's meeting had a housing summit. How's it gone?
It was very positive. So there's a recognition from government and a cross-party agreement in Harlow that there's an aspiration for Harlow in terms of a number of elements need to come together. One's about jobs growth, so we've got Public Health England and the enterprise zone, and that's going really well. But that needs to be supplemented with infrastructure growth and housing growth, and without one of those components you won't get the others. So housing is a really important component, not just in terms of housing people who want to live and work in Harlow, but also in terms of generating the income and the money to regenerate the town centre, to contribute towards infrastructure projects like rail and road. So that was really positive. Some great support from the Minister for making that happen. Clearly quite impressed with the aspiration and ambition of Harlow Council to make this happen for the benefit of Harlow residents.
You mentioned the town centre. That's important that it doesn't drag on, that we're not here in 2020 saying people are still discussing very large red plant pots, do we? We need to see action.
No, absolutely. So there are a lot bigger ambition than just tarting the place up, but that does require significant investment, and without the housing elements of that, as well as the jobs growth, we're not going to get that. But that is going to be pushed forward quite hard. I'm not promising that will happen tomorrow morning, but there is a really strong ambition for regeneration. There's some exciting plans from the owners of the Harbour Centre for part of that. The council needs to play its bit, but the contribution of, for example, a significant development into the north of Harlow will be vital in making that happen.
And it's important, finally, that the people of Harlow aren't left behind here, because when it comes to like last week regarding possible job cuts in the schools, it looks like it would be Harlow people, whether they're teaching assistants, catering assistants, or caretakers, who might get left behind in a lot of things. That's, you've got to think about the people of Harlow at its heart.
No, absolutely. So that's why we're interested in both. I talked about infrastructure, roads and what have you, but that includes health and education facilities as well. The skills agenda is really important. It's noticeable that the people who live in Harlow's average wage is considerably less than the people who work in Harlow, and we need to address that. And largely that's about both the housing mix, but it's largely about the skills agenda. So we're looking very hard. The new announcement about the vocational academy at Passmore is a really important component of that part, which is being supported by Places for People.